conversation and just say congratulations.
Oh, we can go back. We can go back, but I was just so, so excited to see the email.
How many of you felt really good hearing that? Like how that?
I did.
Just to hear her share that.
It is a gift to us. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
It is a gift to us.
A gift to us.
I love using my emojis. So I get to use my emoji.
What are we getting back to? Are we going to still talk about the topic at the top, or?
No. Why? Have you got something?
No, I don't. I just was asking. I wish I did. I'm flowing, going with the flow.
We've covered a lot of territory today.
I think we should all read our last employer review.
I'm about to get mine.
To expose who we are, like just the absolute truth of our annual review.
I'd like to read a poem, if I may.
Sure, John. We won't even take a poll this time.
There was a flower with eyes. The eyes looked at the flower. The flower looked at the eyes. Okay, I've got it. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, this is what it is. Take the deepest breath of the day. This is called To All My Beautiful Clubhouse Friends. I don't
have any friends.
get tired of you. Don't grow weary of being compassionate toward me. All this thirst equipment must surely be tired of me. The water jar, the water carrier. I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. Show me the way to the ocean. Break these half measures, these small containers, all this fantasy and grief. Let my clown house be drowned in the wave that rose last night out of the courtyard, hidden in the center of my chest. Joseph fell like the moon into my well. The harvest I expected was washed away. But no matter, a fire has risen above my tombstone hat. I don't want learning or dignity or respectability. I want this music and this dawn and the warmth of your cheek against mine. The grief armies assemble, but I'm not going with them. This is how it always is when I finish a poem. A great silence overcomes me, and I wonder why I ever thought to use language.
Oh, dear Lord Jesus. I don't know what they're selling on the out there on the streets of Chicago, but I would say go a different route today. Don't go past that mannequin. Whatever you're taking. John. No, go a different route.
Oh,
I thought it was accurate where it said that you're a thirsty fish. You can't satisfy your thirst.
All I kept thinking is, why is he telling us about his fish?
All I kept thinking, why does he have so many Mojo accounts?
I just kept thinking, he loves me.
I got hungry for fish. No, there was one line in there where it ended with the word for, and then he said something else, and I wanted to interject and say, let me show you the door. But I would never do such a thing, because while you don't really have any Clubhouse friends, John, I consider you like a tier 3 friend for sure.
Yeah, Clubhouse tiers. I like that. How many tiers do you have?
Just 3. Just 3.
3 tiers. I like that.
Yeah, anything under tier 3 is a frenemy. And then, you just got the ones that don't matter.
That's good. Actually, that makes sense. Yeah, you have your acquaintances, you have your friends that you casually hang with, and then you have your close friends that you call, you have their numbers, and you hang out here on Clubhouse.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
You should do a poem about that, John.
What, that he's a tier 3 friend.
Clubhouse tears.
I like
Tier 3.
I like the play on words there too. Clubhouse tears, you know. It can be friend tears, it can be real tears.
Well, I think, contentment and content, those words are so closely connected. If somebody comes on here and doesn't give you good content, it'll create discontentment. So, people who don't spread good content, they're generally, uh,
Met with contention.
well, I mean,
That's
you
right.
you all see how it's connected. Like, you are your content. So bring contentment, and people will enjoy your content.
Man, you're such a content snob.
Well, I'd like to read one more poem of contentment.
Oh no. Okay. 60 seconds, John.
We've come again to that knee of seacoast no ocean can reach. Tie together all human intellects. They won't stretch to here. The sky bears its neck so beautifully, but gets no kiss, only a taste. This is the food that everyone wants, wandering the wilderness. Please give us your manna and quail. We're here again with the beloved. This air, a shout. These meadow sounds, an astonishing myth. We've come into the presence of the one who was never apart from us. When the water bag is filling, you know the water carrier's here. The bag leans lovingly against your shoulder. Without you, I have no knowledge, no way to touch anyone. When someone chews sugarcane, he's wanting this sweetness. Inside this globe, the soul roars like thunder, and now silence, my strict tutor. I won't try to talk about Clown House. Language cannot touch that presence.
Is that poem? Okay. So let me just say that I couldn't even listen to the thing you said because my ADHD was going into full effect with your accent as you're reading that. Okay.
Sorry for the late celebration. Yay. And I also didn't want to
Very old time.
stop.
Fun fact, today in 1964, August 27th, Mary Poppins premiered.
Aww.
Well, interesting facts there. Wow.
Wait, what was the fact? I missed it.
Today, August 27th, 1964, Mary Poppins premiered.
A spoonful of sugar made the milk.
You know what? Dick Van Dyke was amazing. That guy always didn't that guy? He just had this positive. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke was awesome. I actually liked him the best out of the whole thing.
And Stevie Ray Vaughan died in a helicopter crash in 1990 on August 27th.
Yeah.
Six coming with the in history today.
I got a little pop-up in my browser that gives me little fun facts for the day, or the date.
What National Food Day is today, Sig? Do you know? I haven't looked at that, but there's every day is a National Food Day, right?
Let me check and see, yeah.
Sig, you missed it. I don't think you were here. I was telling Nye that I'm never playing trivia against her again. If it's men versus women, then I'm just not going to play. Unless I could be on the same team as her when it comes to the trivia. Okay. TV, movies, maybe music I could compete against her with, but yeah.
I think the next trivia room we do, Sean B, is gonna be like poll bit.
Oh, I like that. That'd be cool.
And today is National Banana Day, Sean.
Okay.
Are you eat a banana.
Okay. That's good for good potassium.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go banana! That's a quote from The Simpsons when Ralphie's on the bus and they're racing fruit and everybody's racing an apple and he rolls a banana.
That's silly. I don't even watch it, but that's so silly.
I posted a Twitter link above to a highly disturbing video that was posted on YouTube 2 hours ago by the shooter. It shows his manifesto and his arsenal and all that stuff.
Oh, is this a 20-minute video that was posted on YouTube that got pulled? Is this the link?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was looking for that. Thank you. Sure.
Do you guys know the history of bananas in the United States? We had one type of banana until the 1960s roughly, and then it got a fungus that killed the entire worldwide supply, so we had to change to a different banana from then on. And the other banana tasted better than the ones we have today.
Oh gosh, like the smaller ones, right?
No. It looked like the ones we have today, but it looked the same, but it was a completely different banana. It was called a Gros Michel, Gros Michel, and it had a fungus that killed the entire world population of them, and they replaced them with Cavendish, which is the banana we eat today. And now it looks like there's a fungus starting on Cavendish, and they don't have a replacement right now, but they're worried that it might go away forever as well. It literally went extinct. The Gros Michel went extinct.
That's what they called it, Gros Michel. It had a fungus.
Dang. States and going in state. I can't talk right now.
Kind of like
Bananas are
the
seriously important to everybody's, like to people's general diet. Well, that could be really bad news for everyone.
yeah, and they're by far the most popular fruit in the world too.
You could solely live on bananas.
Yeah.
Are bananas in pajamas in danger?
Oh dear. Gosh.
It's like I wish I tasted one of the old bananas because it's supposed to taste better. It's like when McDonald's changed their fries. Apparently, like before that, they were cooked in some oil that was deemed too unhealthy, so they changed it, and they significantly changed the flavor. So Malcolm Gladwell on his podcast Revisionist History, which is a great podcast if you haven't heard it. Malcolm Gladwell is one of my favorite people. He has an episode where he found a lab that made the same oil that McDonald's used to use, and then he cooked fries in it, and he brought people in to try them, and they were crazy good. Like the people were like, "Holy shit, this is so much better than the current fries." And apparently, we've all forgotten what they tasted like. But the other ones are way better.
What was it?
Was that palm oil and then they switched to vegetable?
I thought it was lard at one point.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but there was something in the oil that was unhealthy. It wasn't oil itself. It was, but the reason is chalked up to this something in the oils. I don't remember the reason. I think it changed in around 2000-ish or something. But apparently the other fries tasted way better. Like on the podcast, people are freaking out how good they are.
New topic is in the chat from Monica. Scientists have discovered that black plastic used on many food products is a carcinogen.
Yeah, you see IO in, you guys see the chat? They said eat tallow. Is that what the
Yeah, tallow, that was it. Yeah,
Well,
it lacks.
I mean,
If you go to Steak and
it's not-
Shake, that's what they promote, that they do their fries in tallow.
So
Oh, that's what
that's
Tallow is now or tallow was before?
Tallow is animal fat, so it's not oil. Well, not technically oil.
So I'm just wondering if tallow is what they use now, or is tallow what
I think
they
they
got
used
rid
that
of
before, probably.
Oh, okay.
I think that with the rise of veganism, that was like a big
big reason why a lot of companies decided to stop using animal
So
fat.
expensive.
It was the same time that McDonald's filled its menu with salads, which went away eventually as well. There was this whole like moment in time when they were trying to make McDonald's healthy. Remember?
Well, it's because of that Supersized Me movie. You guys remember that?
Yeah, that's what it was. You're right. I forgot about that. That's exactly what it all happened.
I think what happened was
Organs
McDonald's.
for luck, by the way.
I think McDonald's got hit with like a whole bunch of lawsuits after that, and I think that's a big reason why. You know, it's like people complain about like the degree to which our society has like become so like sterile, you know. But like at the same time, like there was this weird movement like in the fucking early 2000s, you know, from like 2000 to 2010, where it almost seemed like there was like everybody was pushing back on like for McDonald's, for example, like how it was always marketing to kids, you know. And I feel like that's why they rebranded in the way that they did, because they were being attacked for it, you know. So I think that's interesting, you know, because like we're all fucking kind of to blame for how shitty society is in a lot of ways. I think like symbiotically, you know.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think we're 100% to blame.
I think there's just too many people, man. When everybody has a voice, it's like how the hell how do you establish a baseline when literally everybody in the world is coming from somewhere else, you know?
Yeah, someone said, who said this recently? I like the world better when I didn't know the opinion of people I don't know. And I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that was like,
So, like, I just feel like there was a lot more of a like a bottleneck effect as far as like the quality of voices that could kind of rise to the top of the heap before the internet.
Well, we had the same source to go to for facts. I mean, that was a big deal. Like, if you were arguing with me about something, we'd open the encyclopedia or the dictionary and we'd solve it. And we both left agreeing that one person was wrong, one person was right. Then we got into alternative facts. Then we got into factoids, right? Which are false facts. And now there's facts to support every single opinion from any direction. And it's impossible to discern which ones are true and which ones are not. Like, my biggest fear is losing complete awareness of what's real and what's not real. I mean, we're already going there for sure. We're already in the midst of it. So what happens when we literally can't tell what's real and what's not real?
Like for a while, I was kind of concerned with the whole idea that you know, people were going to start to lose grip on what's real and what's not because of like, you know, ChatGPT and, you know, artificial intelligence generated images and videos and things like that. But then I realized like there's a lot of people in comments and like Instagram videos and shit like that who will be like, oh, that's AI, to a video that's like fucking like 15 years old. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, it's just stupid people. Stupid people are still the problem.
Yeah, but we really don't know what's real.
We have to maintain our critical thinking skills and question everything. I mean, honestly, we're in a time where you really do have to use your own intelligence and make your best judgment and guess. Because a lot of times it is a guess. I mean, you could hear about some science research on some food product, and unless you have the testing capabilities to test that water out,
what is that?
you really don't know. So now you have to like look at it and go,
Years ago, he was the editor in chief of
what else can I find about this? Is there anything else, or is it just this one story from this one place? No one else is reporting it. It's not coming from any, you know, where's the research here? Like, you really have to do your homework, you know?
Well, there's an entire generation of people who grew up using the internet as like the main means by which they interface with like the world, you know. So it's like like to the point that Mike was making. Like he's like, I used to love reading encyclopedias and stuff like that when I was a kid, you know, because it was like the information was highly curated, you know, and you know it was coming from a place that was like very scientifically founded. you know. But these days it's just like this whole generation of couple now, actually, of people who are just being exposed to like this cesspool of just like this soup of just information that is the internet. That's just like, how do they even like? And that's got to be like insanity inducing, I would think, to have never had any stable, understanding of. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say at this point. Like, I can't really think or articulate what I was.
I think in my mind, one of the biggest problems is we are not using our critical thinking skills to discern whose opinion is more important than someone else's opinion. We're no longer respecting experts. We're no longer respecting, time and service. 30,000 hours of discipline studying something doesn't matter anymore if we can just find something that contradicts that on the internet and we feel like that's more important. I hear people saying all the time, you'll quote an authority of something and they'll say, oh, that's a fallacy. You ever heard the fallacy, appeal to authority fallacy? Well, I finally just looked it up. It's the same. How can me believing a doctor's opinion, yes, your stupid fucking opinion, that I would trust a doctor's opinion more than yours, Joe Schmo, right? And so I looked it up, and appealed authority, it's a fallacy that occurs when someone cites an authority figure to support an argument. God, it's so fucking frustrating. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, so, can everyone hear me? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, good, yeah, you're clear now. Okay. Okay, so appeal to authority fallacy. It's a fallacy to appeal to authority under certain circumstances. This doesn't mean it's a fallacy to appear to any authority. It's a fallacy to appear. It occurs when someone cites an authority figure to support an argument without considering whether the authority is actually an expert in this specific field, or if the authority is biased. So those are two reasons to consider that appealing to an authority could be a fallacy. However, the biased one is really easy for someone to claim. Like, if they don't agree with you, you just claim they're biased and now it's an appeal to authority. But the reality is, if you're saying that 9 out of 10 doctors say that the vaccine is generally safer than it is dangerous, then believing 9 out of 10 doctors is not an appeal to authority fallacy. Because 9 out of 10 doctors represent a group of people that are experts. And if they're biased from like a high level. Like you're talking about if that's the case, then we're all fucked anyway. Like, you can say that. You can say that, like, I don't know, you're hearing about pharmaceuticals from somebody in the pharmaceutical industry, and they've been in the industry a long time, and it's appeal to authority because they are biased. Well, if you're talking about, the family that pushed OxyContin on the entire world, well, yes, for sure. That's a good example of if you are appealing to them to say OxyContin is good because they say it is and they create it, they are biased. They have an agenda and they're making money off of it. But 9 out of 10 doctors who swear to take care of people and to uphold life as a valuable thing, things like that, they're probably not grouping together to hurt us. So I just want people to think harder about what is an appeal to authority fallacy and what is an appeal to authority common sense good idea. Because if you're arguing flat earth with an astronaut, you're a fucking idiot. It's not an appeal to authority fallacy. And so I just feel like that's where we're losing track is the difference between that. And then we throw out these words like appeal to authority. And then eventually you hear it so many times, and you hear it, you ignore it, you bypass it. You don't even consider that what you're being told is true. It's kind of like gaslighting. Like, the word was used so fucking much now. And if somebody's really gaslighting and you call them out on it, everybody goes, oh, God. And it's like, but guys, you're ignoring it's actually happening.
Or changing definitions. How about the changing of definitions?
Yeah, that too. So it's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, guys. Like, if you're being gaslit, you need to fucking know what it means. You need to be able to identify when it's really happening and when people are saying it's happening and it's not. Don't just get so annoyed because you have short-term memory and you're tired of hearing the word used. You know what I mean? Like, these are things I see happening, and it drives me crazy because
basically all of it represents a lack of critical thinking. That's what it represents.
Or annual and semi-annual vaccine therapies.
Well, if you think about it, though, Mike, like, critical thinking skills are sometimes, pretty much always something that you have to kind of develop over time after, you know, being exposed to false information enough times that it causes you to kind of, like, start to appeal more to your own judgment, you know what I mean, of a situation and your own discernment than, you know, whatever. Because there's a ton of fucking misleading information out there, man. You know, people who are like actively like profiting, like as a way of like, engagement generation for their posts. They'll post shit that's like intentionally misleading and false, just because it triggers within certain people's minds the need to want to like jump into the comments and like correct the information, right? Now you fucking created a conversation in the comments, right? So like people are constantly being exposed to all this fucking information, and you want to throw fucking AI into the mix. Now shit's getting really confusing, you know? So in a way, the current landscape of the internet, do you think that it's possible that is kind of has the potential to create people, or to catalyze people developing better critical thinking skills?
You mean to? I don't know about that word, but you mean to create more critical thinking skills, or to diminish the current?
It's catalyzing, you know, the development of critical thinking skills on a mass level, because just to be able to fucking like effectively navigate the internet, you have to be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's not at this point.
Yes, but let me add to that. In order to do that,
the whole necessity is the mother of all invention type of argument, you know? It's like,
Joseph, but let me add one second thing to that before you add to it. In order to do that, in order to use critical thinking, you have to be able to hold two opposing realities in your brain at the same time and consider both of them as possible. This is where people fail. They're willing to actually hold two things in their concepts at the same time in order to compare and contrast them long enough with examples to back up what they're seeing to lead them one way or another. They come into it predetermined to only accept one of the two ideas as possible. And then they don't critical think, because if they were forced with critical thinking, they'd be forced to accept considering the reality that they're wrong. Remember, we are at most 50% right. At most. You're never more than 50% right. For every single thing you think is true, there's somebody else that thinks it's completely true too. And there's arguably no way to prove it. So if you're wrong half the time, imagine that. Imagine, and I do think of this all the time in my own mind. When I believe something, when I think something's just dead true, I question, is this the 1 out of 2 that I'm wrong? How many people do that? You have to hold yourself accountable. You're wrong half the time, period. Period.
Well,
if you're even talking about something that's objective, which more things are than we give credit for, to be honest with you.
I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is that a person has to be wrong enough times to the point where they have to fucking suffer the consequences of being wrong enough times. That's what makes a person start to fucking double think twice, you know, and be like, okay, maybe I'm not wrong 100%, maybe I'm not right 100% of the time, you know. So like, and I just think that the landscape of the internet is as such that just people's basic kind of personal engagement with like even like just Instagram or YouTube, you know, it's like it's making it so that you have to fucking start kind of like really do a lot of comparing and contrasting between different kinds of things that you're being exposed to, different kinds of information that you're being exposed to, because you know that it's either real or it's fucking AI, you know. So due to the fact that AI is so prevalent on the internet these days, it's going to catalyze the effect of people having to fucking hold in their mind at any given time that something is either AI or it's this, right? So that has the capacity to kind of catalyze this kind of emergence, or this kind of like collective awakening of people's critical thinking skills is kind of like the theory that I'm positing a little.
But if your point is that you have to be proven wrong enough times to suffer the consequences to recognize that you should reconsider whether you're not right all the time, I would argue that it's more difficult than ever to be proven wrong, because now there's too many places you can go to buddy up with people who will tell you you're right and to find alternative facts that will support what you want to think. That we're not being proven wrong enough to actually learn the lessons and to consider that we are wrong half the time.
Damn,
Like, I think that is really the biggest problem with the internet, is that you can literally convince yourself you're right no matter what you believe. There's always somebody else that's going to agree with you.